So, my dear anxious, preoccupied attachment styles, I want to ask you a really tough question, but also give you some really powerful steps if you find yourself on the side of the answer that you may not want to be on in this situation, for what you can do to heal, to grow through this, and really evolve so that you feel like you are your best self and you are not settling for less than you deserve. And this question is, are you somebody who's really good at forgiving things and letting them go in a relationship? Or are you somebody who finds themselves in situations where you opt for forgiving and letting things go, but what it really is sweeping things under the rug because your fear of abandonment is significantly greater than anything else, causing you to brush things under the rug that aren't actually okay with you, and also causing you to feel like, I can't really have a voice or a say because if I do speak up for myself and I do really abide by my standards and make space for my needs in a relationship, I might get abandoned. And if you find yourself being the person who constantly and chronically forgives, but isn't actually reaching a true state of emotional forgiveness, like you've really understood why somebody did what they did, you've talked it through, you have strategies together. And let's pick a specific example to make this really clear. Let's say somebody in a relationship cancels plans 3 times in a row, and you haven't seen them all of a sudden for, like, almost 2 weeks. If you keep shoving it under the rug and pretending it's okay when it's not okay for you, and pretending that, "Oh, I'm just forgiving, I'm really good at being forgiving," instead of realizing, "This isn't comfortable for me. I would like to see my partner more than once every 2 weeks in a relationship, and my standards are that I see them twice a week at bare minimum, except for really crazy circumstances, like if there's, a massive job change or somebody's traveling for work or, these sort of one-off experiences that could be happening." If you find yourself pretending things are okay when they're not, rather than going, having the conversation saying, "Hey, look, I get that you're going through a tricky time. I get that you're canceling plans because you feel stressed and overwhelmed. And my standards in a relationship are really important. I need to understand better what's going on for you, and we need to put strategies together to make sure we're making a commitment to the commitment in the relationship that we've already made." And if you don't set up yourself to communicate those standards, express your needs, then essentially what ends up taking place over time is you may find yourself kind of withering away in the relationship. In other words, you may find that you're putting up with things that you're pretending to be okay with, but that aren't actually okay. You're people pleasing and you're feeling really unseen and unheard and not cared for. And you're too afraid to use your voice and say anything because you're already so afraid of being abandoned that you're scared that, like, the moment you communicate, it will be the straw that breaks the camel's back. And if you find yourself in that position, I want you to know that that's not fair to you and that you shouldn't be settling for less than you are deserving. You shouldn't be settling for things that really aren't okay with you to begin with. And so, what I really want to advise you in doing and encourage you to do so strongly is to carve out, number one, what your standards actually are. Like, what are you truly looking for in a relationship? What would make you feel fulfilled? And number two, I want you to ask yourself, how much have I been truly supporting myself in these standards and communicating about these standards? Number three, if you are not communicating, why? What are all of the fears that you have of making yourself heard? And I want you to really um, search for, take inventory for all the different fears that might be there. They may be things like, I'll be abandoned, I'll seem like I'm a burden, I'll be disliked, I'll seem like I'm annoying. Like, you probably have these limiting beliefs that are preventing you from communicating. And so it keeps you stuck kind of between a rock and a hard place. Like, I don't feel fulfilled, but I can't do anything about it. And that's not the place that you want to be. The next step I want you to look at is, what are the costs of never communicating my relationships? What are the costs of continuing on this path? And what you should see is that you won't feel fully happy. One of the biggest ones, dear anxious preoccupied, is that you're going to feel so unseen all of the time. So much of feeling seen and truly connected in your authentic self requires for you to speak up, requires for you to be vulnerable and share and let somebody know what it is that you're seeking and needing and looking for. And without that, you're always going to feel like you're waiting to be abandoned because you're always going to feel like your cup is never properly full from your relationship. You're going to feel like you're constantly running on empty because you're not truly getting your needs met. So it becomes a vicious cycle of you abandoning yourself, feeling unfulfilled in the relationship, not giving yourself room to be seen, and then fearing abandonment even more. So then you abandon yourself further, keep silent, don't use your voice, and it just goes around and around and around. And then what you really want to be able to do, and if you want to do a deep dive into this, the best place to get started is the Anxious Preoccupied Reprogramming course. It helps you recondition all of the core components that have to do with your attachment style. But where you really want to get started is reconditioning your fears and learning to meet your own needs for yourself and know them so that you're always filling your cup halfway. And then when people meet your needs as well, it feels like this extra benefit that you're not scared of receiving, that you're not scared of, oh, I'm not feeling good enough to receive my needs or to be seen or to be heard. And so by reprogramming your fears and learning to meet your own needs, understand your own needs, and share them effectively in a relationship, it moves the needle so quickly in terms of becoming securely attached and actually feeling like you are in fulfilling relationships and scenarios. So if this is something that resonates with you, I suggest doing a deep dive into that course or just using some of the tools that we talked about in this video to at least get the ball rolling and get started. Oh, you can check out the course for free for 7 days, by the way. I don't know if I said that, but if you didn't know, now you do. And just really considering like where you're moving from in your relationship. Are you moving from truth because you're being honest with yourself, you're carving out space, you're not settling with your standards, you're sharing what's going on for you, you're letting somebody know what you need, or are you moving from fear? Pretending things are okay with you when they may not be, shoving things under the rug, not speaking up and using your voice, and feeling like you're kind of stuck between that rock and a hard place. So really take an honest look because it can be the first step to setting yourself free and shifting and changing and moving the needle. And guess what? If you do communicate and you do see your needs through and you do take up space and somebody isn't willing to meet you halfway, they were never the right person for you anyways. So it's super important to remember that. So I have some exciting news, which is that we are doing $1,000 off of our lifetime membership sale to the Personal Development School, which means you get access to literally everything at PDS for your entire rest of your life. Essentially, that entails all of our different courses you have lifetime access to. I do 4 live webinars a week, every single week. You can access them ongoing, and you get access to all of our daily community events. So I'd love to see you on the other side, and you can access it by using the link in the description box below. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy, please like, share, and subscribe. Please consider hitting the notification bell because I put out literally daily videos every single day, all about attachment styles, the subconscious mind, integrated attachment theory, which is our new attachment theory that we developed, back years ago, but are really like publishing and putting out into the world. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.